Alright guys, game on once again. I am still running Yuriko here. I'm up against Erasmus, who's running the seldom seen Brion's Stout Arm. I've got a hand with 6 mana and a Sword of Feast and Famine. And I'm debating whether or not I want to mulligan. I think he's going first here. This hand is so borderline keepable. It does have Mutavault in it. Although red-white is kind of the deck where I would expect that they have probably a fair amount of removal and usually some small creatures too. The sword and the tomb, though, give me pause. Huh. Yeah, you know what? He's mulliganing. I'm going to keep. I feel like just because of tomb and sword and Mutavault, I actually probably at least as good as a random 6. He is aiding my cause tremendously by mulliganing down to 5. And he's sitting at 5. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, worst case scenario, I can always just hard cast Yuriko on turn 3 and then suit it up with the sword on the following turn. Alright, he doesn't have a Soul Ring or a Crypt. And I draw another fetch land. Okie doke. I'm going to play turn 2 sword here almost certainly. And then on the following turn I can play Yuriko. If I've drawn nothing else, I can play Yuriko and throw the sword on it, which will make it pretty beefy 3/5 attacker. Getting Watery Grave. Thoughtseize. Well, maybe that'll change things. He says it's going to be one of those classic mulling to 5 games. Let's hope not. Huh. Well, I think that changes things quite a bit, actually. I'm going to Thoughtseize here to get removal out of his hand. I'll play Mutavault instead, since I can just bounce that. It does kind of suck using ninjutsu off of Mutavault, because actually, no, I probably won't do that. I'll probably just hardcast Yuriko next turn. I wonder if he's got some sort of burn in his hand that he's contemplating. Well of Lost Dreams. Huh. So when he gains life, Molten Primordial and Malignus. Half the life total among your opponents. Round it up. Holy shit, man. That creature is big. 15/15. How much do I care about Well of Lost Dreams? Well, these things both cost 5. I think this is probably the most dangerous card. I'm just going to take that. If he gets a 15/15 creature out, I will just deal with it. Alright. I don't have any expectation that I am playing Mutavault next turn, so, or that I'm attacking with Mutavault next turn, so I think I'm just going to play the Rainforest. He doesn't really have much going on. He did top deck a mountain there. That's a little troubling. Alright, time to go get the other Underground Sea. Sunken Hollow. Ponder. Okay, well, he's going to cast Brion next turn. And that is troubling. Now, hopefully I can get a creature here. This all mana hand is starting to look a little worse. I gotta say it. Diabolic Intent and Daze. Daze is phenomenal, as is Diabolic Intent. Alright, top. Okay, no. Daze is going to defend my life here. And is it time to cast a Mutavault? Yes, it is. So he'll almost certainly play his guy next turn. Since I don't think he has anything else in his hand, he's got those 2 5-drops. Or the 5-drop and something else. The Mutavault also means that I'm much less likely to have counter magic. And I can actually, what the hell? He's not going to play his commander? Okay, good. I was wondering what the hell's going on. Let's just cast Mr. Daze. Daze for days. And there's actually a thing. Okay, so I can use the, this is pretty good actually. Looks like I'll probably do the Yuriko attack this turn to draw that Mox. So send those in, ninjutsu. Yeah, there's no reason to take damage yet. I'll play Drown Catacomb. Activate the Mutavault. It does suck that this involves picking up a land drop, but having the Ancient Tomb does help that quite a bit. And I can Diabolic Intent and sacrifice the... I can sacrifice Yuriko to go get a way to deal with his dude. Black, blue. I love the fact that there's a Mox on top of my deck. That's amazing. Yes, yes, yes. Wonderful card to have. Let's see if he's picked up a 5th land to cast one of the 5-drop in his hand, that giant monster. Okay, he does not have it. That's very lucky. Oh, he does. This guy's just keeping me guessing the whole time. My God, man, this thing's big. Half the life total among my opponents rounded up. My God, it's a big ass monster. Okay. Well, that's actually extremely, extremely timely. I think I'm going to Treachery this thing, actually. I'm going to cast Mox Amber here. Can't get through it, obviously. It's really nice, too. I can actually use Persist Counter. I can get a Persist Counter on the Glenalendra and then just Ninjutsu it back. I just need 7 mana next turn to Diabolic Intent and also cast Treachery. So with that in mind, I don't think I need to take damage this turn. Yeah, is there any reason? I don't see a compelling reason to take damage. I'm just going to play Glenalendra, Chump Mage. That Malignus is pretty huge. Yeah, I've been on the fence about cutting Diabolic Intent a fair amount. Some games you just draw it and it's horrendous, but in a situation like this, having the Demonic Tutor ability is really, really nice. And of course, I have the ability to just Diabolic Intent and go get Necropotence or something too. Sure. Block. Glad that thing does not have Trample. End step, interesting. Okay. No worries at all. Spell Pierce, actually super handy. The question is, due to having Glenalendra Archmage, would that be too greedy? I don't think it is, actually. Let's see here. Well, it's 5 mana to use the sword. Yeah, I think this is correct. I'm going to play the sword here. I recognize that this is a bit of a gamble, but I think it's fine. Oh yeah, I was supposed to play the Ancient Tomb there, so I could Treachery. I guess I'm going to take a big beating here. He's going to drop his hand size down to 2. Weird. Sword of Fire and Ice, wow. I feel bad for attacking with Glenalendra Archmage. Unfortunately, I can't equip the Glenalendra with that. Yep, not really much else to do other than just take a big hit, but I think that's fine. I'll play the sword. And let's see here. Yeah, why not? I'll throw it on there. Double sword. What do you do? What do you do, Erasmus? He's just thinking right now. Lots of downtime against the last couple of opponents. These guys just taking forever on their turns. And I appreciated all the feedback that people gave me earlier about how they enjoy the on-the-fly games. And I think it's something I still have to get a little more comfortable with. There is the issue of just having lots of downtime where your opponent is just thinking about stuff to do and trying to keep things interesting. He's casting Grab the Reins, targeting Yuriko. So I would untap all of my lands there. And take some extra damage. How much do I care about this? Well, I think I care enough to Spell Pierce it. I don't really want to sack the mage. It could be really bad. I don't want him. That's so weird. So he would reveal the top card of his library. That could potentially be really disastrous if there was something big and expensive on top, because I'd be taking 13 anyway. I don't really want that to happen. This is good anyway because it just kind of taps him out. Ow. Is he flinging that at me? Okay, good. It shrunk. Fuck. It's down to 7/7 at least. It gets smaller. That's the one advantage, is that he can't just throw it at my head for 7 more damage or for 13 more damage. The smaller I get, or the lower I get in health, the smaller that thing gets. It's a lot less intimidating now. But it'll be big and juicy when it's on my side of the table. Yeah, I think he was thinking about doing something like that. Choked Estuary. I do not have a underground. I do not have a swamp or otherwise in my hand. Okay. I have plenty of mana to do it now. So I'm going to activate Mutavault. Coming in. Smash. Look at all these triggers. Wow. I'll deal 2 to him. Pretty nice. There's no reason to even cast anything, honestly. I know exactly what I'm doing. Okay. Blue, black. The question is, do I actually sacrifice my Mutavault? Keep my creature in play? I would like to reset the Glenelendra, but these things are just doing so much damage now that there's probably no reason to do that. I mean, I'm gonna... Oops. Yeah, I think I will do that, actually. Let's sack the Mutavault. This feels pretty secure. Let's see here. Am I happy with these things? Yeah, I think that's fine. He should be dead next turn anyway. I can pretty much bounce wherever he does. He's got enough time to play his guy again. That's all he's got. Unfortunately, I've got Sword of Fire and Ice in play. He's not doing much of anything. Oh, he said nice. Alright. Oh, this is just going through the motions here. Blue. It's just hard to get competitive games, honestly. A lot of these decks are pretty mediocre. Even when you put competitive, it's hard enough to get a game in general in this format because we're still dealing with a fragmented population. I'm so looking forward to them doing away with the 1 versus 1 format for good, because it's not doing anybody any favors. They don't have any tournaments for it anymore. It's just a dead format that's splitting the commander population in half. And there's no reason for that to exist, really, at this point. I think that it was an interesting experiment, but I think fundamentally the idea of a competitive format with EDH is, or I should say, and EDH are just incompatible. And yeah, it just kind of wrecked the multiplayer list format that I enjoyed so much, and created a monster of another format that wasn't fun for anybody, that had to be nerfed to oblivion and then completely reset and is now basically just dead. All right, I'm going to finish off Mr. Erasmus here. And should be game. All right, well, that is, that was another interesting game. And, there'll be more on the horizon. Looking forward to posting a game that's a little bit more competitive, and I will see you later.